We're gonna make some Cheetos and we're gonna fry them, and then, oh God, I blew myself. Hey, welcome to Mythical Kitchen, where dreams become food. Dreams become food. Welcome to Mythical Kitchen, where dreams become food. That was embarrassing. Please don't show them that. All right, so no snack has taken the world by storm quite like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, but come here. What if I told you that in an alternate universe, fiery red Cheetos that burn stomachs, that stain keyboards, that send little Xan to the hospital never existed? What if I told you that somewhere out there is an icy wasteland where Flamin' Hot becomes a little bit colder? Yeah, we're making Freezing Cold Cheetos. Let's do it. If you're following along at home, we have broken the recipe down into 3 easy steps. You can snag the time codes right there, or we got a full written recipe down in the description below. Wow. Or. Sorry, my mind was distracted because I thought I sounded like a seal. Or you can also listen to our podcast, A Hot Dogs and Sandwich. The latest episode just dropped yesterday, and you can find that everywhere you get your podcasts, every Wednesday, everywhere, every time, every day. Not every day. Well, you can listen to it every day. I listen to it before I go to sleep. It calms me down to listen to Nicole's voice. That sounds creepy, sorry. Let's get cooking. All right, so we're gonna start off by making this freezing cold blue powder. I wanna walk you through the thought process. So this is what we thought we could do. These are pure menthol crystals that on the internet said they were food grade. And then we look at the suggested uses and it says spas, beekeeping, arts and crafts, and then says external use only. But I said I'd like to use them internally and put them inside my body. And then we called up the company and they said, please don't put these inside your body, use them for beekeeping. So we can't use pure menthol crystals. Maybe we can, but we're not gonna. What we're gonna do instead is we're gonna use a combination of Ice Breakers and Altoids. The thought here, right? We wanna get the cool blue flavor of mintiness into these Cheetos. So I'm gonna take a bunch of mints and I'm just gonna dump them into our Vitamix. It looks like we're going Walter White on this and making some sort of illegal concoction, and we're not. These chips are not yet banned in states, but mayhaps they should be. So we're just gonna dump about $60 worth of mints in here, and we're gonna blend her up. I'm just gonna take a bunch of blue food dye. This is a classic French recipe that I learned in culinary school. Oh, you must have blended the Altoids. Altoids, cause French. Come on, Annalise, that's gold. Thank you. Got all our blue. Gonna dump in all of our powdered sugar, and then just a little bit of cornstarch. I'm gonna add the cornstarch gradually. I'm talking like this is a real recipe that exists. Anyways, I'm gonna add the cornstarch gradually. I'm gonna keep a couple just in case this doesn't blend up how I like it, because I want it to be very fine, but even if it's not very fine, I'm also gonna run it through a Tamis in French to try and get any chunks out. But for now, let's just rip her up. Make it blue! You're my boy, Blue! Ah! I'm inhaling a lot of blue dust. That's a good sign. Okay, so let's just, wow. That is, I think I got 3 whole Altoids. And so now we're just gonna run this through the strainer, try and get any chunks out. Yeah, there's a fair amount of chunks. So right now we're just gonna pass this through. There's a lot of little gravel in there. And if you see, just getting the nice blue powder. God, this counter's gonna be stained with blue for a long time. Sorry. It's like panning for gold. Did you ever pan for gold as a kid? Yeah, Nicole did. That's a California thing. Yeah, take you to the old Knott's Berry Farm, they make you pan for gold, then eat the fried chicken. We had the same childhood. Yeah, not fun. All right, so this is looking nice and powdery. This is a perfect color. This is exactly how I want the Cheetos to look. Now we're gonna make some Cheetos and we're gonna fry them, and then, oh God, I blew myself. All right, so now we have to make our Cheetos. Here's the problem is we're not a giant machine that can provide thousands of pounds of force enough to actually puff the corn, because that's how Cheetos are made in the factory. I can try and palm heel strike this vegan bologna log as much as I want, nothing will happen. So we're gonna make Cheetos homemade in like the most lo-fi way, the only way we figured out how. So I'm literally covered in blue. This isn't coming off. So we're gonna take, this is a log of polenta. You can get it totally pre-made at the store. It's really fun if you slice it into little wedges and fry it. But we're gonna take it and we're just gonna crush it up with our hands into about a half cup of water. And so we're gonna get this kind of into a creamy polenta dough. We're kind of doing this in the way that you would make like a pâte à choux or a churro dough. Just stick your hands right in the hot pot and kind of mash it up. All right, so we are literally just making like plain flavored Cheetos, and then we're gonna get that into all of our blue powder. My hands are slick with polenta grease. Also, don't mix up polenta with placenta. You'll get some weird Amazon orders. What? Wow, what is polenta, you might ask? Basically yellow grits. This is just ground coarse yellow cornmeal. You could just try and make a dough completely out of cornstarch, but then it's gonna have this weird kind of like waxy, chalky taste to it. So we're trying to use this like coarse cornmeal to create a wet dough. What does a torn labrum feel like? So So we're gonna take a couple tablespoons of cornstarch. We're gonna get that in there. We are gonna be adding an egg white later once this cools to really give it some structure. No! I gesticulated too hard. I prematurely gesticulated. So you're gonna spill all the salt on the table and then you're gonna kind of do a little wax on, wax off motion. I think it was a 1/4 teaspoon before. Now we're rocking like a 1/6 of a teaspoon. And we're just gonna toss that in there. And then I got a little bit of leavening agent. So this is just baking powder. That's what's gonna give the Cheetos a rise. Then I'm gonna take this off the heat, stir this up, let it cool down, and then we're gonna add in that egg white. We want the protein to really give this dough a little bit of structure. So when we fry it, it holds up. Okay, let it. I'm gonna start singing the song from Frozen, but then we get sued by that smug snowman. You know who you are. Olaf, carrot ass nose. I've never seen the movie, I don't know. He dies, right? All right, so we have our polenta that has come down to room temperature, and I'm just gonna add an egg white to it, because if you add the egg white to it while it's hot, it's gonna scramble the egg whites. Shut up, spoon. I have a combative relationship with my cooking equipment. So now we're just gonna slop this polenta around, because we don't own a whisk. We could just try and make a real sturdy dough, and believe me, we've tried. We tried a lot of methods. We tried piping and dropping it into the fryer in little lines. The way that we have figured out how is to do it by feel. It's like hand rolling pasta, where you just know if it feels right, and I'll show you what I mean. So we're gonna dump out just a whole lot of cornstarch onto this tray. The theory here is we want like a nice dense core of polenta, and then we want to get a hefty coating on the outside of cornstarch, because that's what's gonna give it like that really crispy coating on the exterior. It's like when you use cornstarch in a batter for fried chicken, at least that is what the operation that we've been assuming under. So we're gonna take spoons and just make little tiny dollops. These individual dollops are going to be our Cheetos. It's gonna be pretty small. Get a couple dollops in there. Do a dollop, do a dollop of Cheetos. That's their new slogan. You know how you dollop Cheetos. So now we got some dollops. We gotta work in batches, because we're actually gonna hand roll the Cheetos individually and then drop them right from your hands into the fryer. If you see, this looks somewhat like a Cheeto, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kinda Oscar Robertson finger roll it. Oscar Robertson? He played for the Bucks in like the 70s? Who's gonna get that reference? No one. I'm gonna Oscar Robertson kind of finger roll it right into the fryer, and we're gonna try and work in batches, working quickly to try and get these all fried roughly at the same time. But since this is a lot of cornmeal and a lot of cornstarch with a lot of moisture in there, these are gonna take a while in the fryer, so you can really kind of take your time here. Yeah. Really make each one of these into your own Michelangelo's David. Without the schmeckle. Well, they're kind of schmeckles. This is not the first time we've made Cheetos. We did make Cheetos one time before, and I don't know what happened. What do you think happened? Because like we almost burned down the kitchen. Like we dropped the Cheetos in the fryer and they literally started exploding. It sounded like mortar shells firing around us, and Nicole goes, help, help, I need someone big and strong to come help. And I'm like, oh, I'll come help you, Nicole. And then I just like threw a splatter guard, unplugged the fryer, and ran away, because I also run from the face of danger. All right, so our Cheetos are frying. They are looking nice and crispy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them out of the fryer. I'm gonna try and drain the oil as much as possible, but we still want a fair amount of wetness, which is the essence of moisture, which is the essence of beauty, as you all know. And then we're just gonna get them right into our blue powder. And then now you're gonna go in with your hands and you're just gonna toss these around, and you should get perfectly blue coated Cheetos. You do want them to sit in there a little bit, because some of the coating's really gonna get absorbed by the oil. These are wet with oil. Well, you should probably let them cool down before you toss them next time. You don't make the mistakes that we did. But look at these. Looks like little cat turds covered in a chemical cleaning agent that rich people can afford and make their house smell better. You know what I mean? All right, so we got our freezing cold Cheetos. We're gonna let these set up on our rack. We want them to cool to room temperature. And then all we got left to do is to eat it. Yeah, we'll eat them. All right, we got all of our Cheetos coated. Look at how, I don't know if I should say the word gorgeous, but they certainly are something. This is ludicrous. I'm gonna give it a try. Despite how imperfect our method was, they're absolutely perfect. I mean, they stain your fingers blue just like Flamin' Hot Cheetos stain your fingers red. I should probably wash that off. And you're getting hit with this just huge minty blast. Is it pleasant? No, not at all. These are garbage. What a terrible idea. I think it's hilarious though. The mint with the corn is not a great combination. That said, it doesn't matter what I think. My opinions are all hot garbage. I hope you've listened to the podcast. You can hear all my hot garbage opinions there. No, it matters what Sound Guy Chris thinks. Sound Guy Chris.
Oh, hey, Josh, nice to see you.
All right, Chris, sport cam coming in. I'm going right into the bag. Gonna rummage around. How are you supposed to spork a Cheeto? Why did we think this was a good idea? I'm gonna get you a little nugget. All right, Chris.
Okay, I'm ready.
Airplane coming in the hangar. Are my teeth that blue? Are my teeth that blue?
It really is just like you just deep fried like an ice breaker.
Pretty much what we did.
Like you're just crunching it, but it's a more satisfying crunch.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of nice. I mean, I'm like wondering, like, do you think it's possible? Like, will it remove the bags underneath my eyes? You know? Like,
Don't do that. Oh God, no! Go to the
well,
hospital.
you know, talking about it's a spa earlier. I mean, this is the kind of same thing, right?
And for beekeeping.
Yeah.
Well,
Beekeeping.
I guess if you got any bees at home, you grab some menthol crystals, make some freezing cold Cheetos. Chris, thank you so much for scarring your body and your mouth for us, and thank you so much for stopping by the Mythical Kitchen. We got new episodes out for you every week. We got new episodes of our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, out every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Hit us up on Instagram at Mythical Kitchen with pictures of your mythical dishes under hashtag dreams become food. I'm gonna blue myself again. It's so offensive. You can cook up your own feast while wearing the Mythical Kitchen apron, available now at mythical.com.